Battle of Aberdeen. Battle of Aberdeen. If you really ask me, then this is unfortunate, the most unfortunate battle ever seen in the history. There are battles going on in Balochistan, the army of Punjab and army of Balochistan. I mean army of Pakistan and army of Balochistan. Balochistan freedom movement. There was a long struggle in Aceh, that is in Indonesia, where Aceh freedom fighter, they for long duration they fought for their freedom. Okay, there are many regions in the world where people are struggling for their independence. Tibet region, Xinjiang region, Uyghur region. Everyone is struggling for their independence. They are in clutch of foreigners. They don't. No one want to live in the clutch of foreigners. Okay, everywhere struggle is there. But whatever I am talking, it is much worse to it. Battle of Aberdeen. Battle of Aberdeen, the darkest side of the history, Battle of Aberdeen. So Aberdeen is a penal colony. Penal colony means where the kind of criminals who have some crime charges, they are kept in a jail. So that is on Port Blair, southern part of it. That is penal colony. They call it penal colony. Instead of jail, they call it penal colony. So Britishers, they formed jail jail in Port Blair is an island in Andaman side of Andaman and Nicobar Island in that is now part of India. Andaman is a separate kind of at that time when Britishers visited India, Andaman was a kind of separate province with very unfortunate people. Okay, this is a term that if you look black, then you are uncivilized and uncultured. This is the world. If your skin is fair, white, then you are highly educated and highly cultured. But if your skin is dark and black, then you are uneducated and uncultured. That is the concept. Unfortunately, the Andamanese people are dark. So, because this is their weather, hot weather, so God has made them. They migrated from Australia, they migrated from Africa, all are horses. They are indigenous to Andaman. Andamanese people, they are dark skinned people. They have culture, ritual as per their geography and as per their weather. They were, now they are no more. That is the Battle of Aberdeen. Now, Britishers, when they came to India, earlier it was East India Company, Presidency of Bengal. There they entered the India and they make a presidency called Presidency of Bengal, Bengal Presidency. So Bengal Presidency, whatever, they from the Bengal Presidency they entered through Calcutta and they started moving towards west and they moved till Afghanistan, Turkham. That is, they later called it Durand Line. And north they went till Tibet. They later they called it McMahon Line. Grapes are sour. They could not control the Tibet. Here they could not control the Afghanistan. So they stopped here and they stopped here. And that side they could not enter Xinjiang province or Uyghur province or Kasi region. So that is McDonald Line. McDonald Line and here McMahon line and there Durand line. But Britishers could move westward till Turkham border Afghanistan. To eastward they could move till Laos and Thailand border. Till there they went. So east to west. Now Bengal presidency was the first presidency they formed. They fought Burma war. They won the Burma war. So whatever the criminal they found which were injurious to the health of the Britishers, then they formed a penal colony. So Chatham is an island near Port Blair. Chatham is an island near Port Blair. Port Blair itself is an island in Andaman. There are two sides of the Andaman Nicobar island, Andamanese side and Nicobar side. So Andamanese tribals like Jarawa, Onge, Santali, those were powerful tribes. So those tribes, they had, I believe, hundreds of islands or thousands of islands. I don't know, but and that those islands they go and meet Burma. So from Burma, this island straight there it starts, and then it goes then to south. It continues with Nicobar Island, and then it goes till Aceh province in Indonesia. That it makes a kind of a bow and array. It makes like a bow. So northern part of that is the bigger part is Andaman, Jarawa, Onge, and Santali. These are the main tribe, but there would be many other tribes also. Now, these kind of convicts in the war, generally then presidency of Bengal presidency, they created penal colony, means jail. They created a jail in Latam, Latam Island there in 1789. Okay, later they kind of around that, and then in 1792 they vanished it. I believe they would have created prior to that. So they, because they could not sustain to the weather out there. So finally they abolished the jail, and then they went back. Now in 1857, Britishers they made the jail on Ross Island, all are near to Port Blair, Island. So that they called it penal colony, Ross Island, and all nearby many islands. I think there are 12 islands on which they created the penal colony. So who were the convicts they found in the mutiny of 1857 revolt? So in 1857 only they created the penal code. They started porting those convicts, and those convicts were clearing all the forest, and then they started making the kind of colony, means a small home they created, and prisoners would live there with kind of shackle in their leg or something like that. Okay, now the local people they did not like. Who will like? Suppose England is an island, and I go there and create a penal colony without asking the local people and government. Here, on the account, there were 15,000 Andamanese tribal were counted. There would be more than. It was a country. It was a separate country which had tribals as their king and everything. So, without asking them, you are controlling 12 islands, okay, one desert island. So, how it fits? It does not fit. So, they started kind of clashing with the British forces who were there appointed. So, that is the picture. Now, 19 May 1859, there was a severe Battle of Aberdeen. So in Port Blair, there is a Aberdeen penal colony. There, 1,500, around 1,500 Andamanese tribal soldiers, they attacked on the British soldiers, and they got defeated. And then later on, around 1870, 1880, they caught diseases, measles or something like that, and they started kind of annihilated. This is what I would say, annihilated not because of the war, annihilated because of the disease. And now the condition is only North Sentinelese Island. There are few Sentinels who are think they are protected. No one can enter it, and government supports. No one should enter it. There they are living independently. I believe they are 100 in number or something like that. But Jarwa and Onge, they are reduced to some 20, 30 or something like that. With 15,000, that is known count, they are reduced to 15 and 30, means they are completely vanished. Battle of Aberdeen, where you lose your kind of genealogy altogether. Just think about these people who are no more, whose genetic structure was washed out somehow. I won't say by Britishers or whatever, but this is how it happened. How it happened, there is a story. There is something called Dudnath Tiwari. So Dudnath Tiwari was a convict, and he was there in 1858. So in 1858 revolt, he was a sepoy, means he was a sipahi, he was a kind of in military, British military, and he did the mutiny. He was participant in the mutiny. So Britishers they sent him to the penal colony. Here in 1858, along with other mate, he vanished. On a boat, took a boat, and on board they vanished, thinking that they would go to Burma. If they do the boating or rowing for 15 days, then they would reach Burma. Then from there they can escape. But they went to next island, and there only they spent full time, some 7 days, 10 days, or something like that, means foolishly. And then they were encountered. So there were net, I believe, around 130 people they escaped from other island penal captivity also. Many people they combined together, and they finally they landed up in one island, and there they were killed by the Andamanese tribals. Only Dudnath Tiwari, he kind of he pleaded for mercy with the tribal people, and they showed mercy. If he pleaded for mercy, they showed mercy. Otherwise, they did not show mercy on the convicts because they thought that they are outsiders and they are taking their land. So I believe they killed kind of, or they shot with their arrow 480 convicts. That is in record. Either they killed it or whatever. But in record, they had shot 480 convicts with their arrow. Now here also there was encounter, and they killed everyone. Only the Tiwari, Dudnath Tiwari. Now Tiwari agreed to mix with their tribal, and he became a tribal guy. And then he married with the tribal, two tribal girls also. And now he is a tribal guy. So he used to travel with all 15,000 tribal, because their culture was to move one island to other island, and then hunting or whatever. This is what their culture is. So he moved along with them. Now, May 1859, 1 year later, 1 year he spent 1858 to 59 with them, and 1 year later, now Andamanese people they made a big plan to attack on the British forces in who were kind of guarding the jail. Now Dudhnath Tiwari, now when he, because he was knowing their languages, now went and he informed the superintendent. He got mixed with the superintendent. Means he was real idiot fellow. When he was taking salary from Britishers in Indian army, then there he revolted. Now when he was eating with the tribal, there he kind of backstabbing he did there also. Now he went and talked with the superintendent, and he informed in advance that there is going to be one big attack on them. They were completely ready. When attack happened, then they kind of retaliated with equal and more powerful strength with the firearms. And then few Andamanis they died in the attack, and finally they got defeated, and later they got completely annihilated because of the diseases. Because there will be certain a disease when you see that outsider they are taking, the Britishers they were not confined to 12 island only. Ross Island, Latham Island, or Port Blair, they were taking all the islands. Okay, slowly they started taking all the islands there. Okay, means there was no other way for these people to die only in suffocation. They did not die because of the disease, they died because of mental suffocation. Means day by day they were seeing that their all islands are being encroached. So anyone would suffer the suffocation. So now they are in 20, 30 numbers each tribe. So they are completely annihilated, completely destroyed. So Battle of Aberdeen that happened, and that happened in penal colony, and that is kind of a scenario that completely destroyed our Andamanese race itself. Okay, now let's go beyond. That is what I say, that life is not that easy. If someone comes to your island, then so what is behind the scenario? This is what is documented in all the book when you see it. But there is a story behind the scene also. Why presidency of Bengal they created penal colony so far in the ocean? Not required. They could have near the Indian border also. If you see, then there are many islands near the Burma or near the Bangladesh, near the India. There are islands, and no can swim 100 kilometer, 200 kilometer in the ocean to go back to the mainland. Not possible. So they could have created the captivity there only. Or if they create jail inside India, who will run away? Britishers were running many jails in India also. But why they were sent to Andaman? That is a big question. Britishers came to India to earn money. Britishers did not come to India for administration and ruling India and then kind of killing people and something like that. This is not their job. They did not kill Andamanese people. Andamanese people attacked on them, so they retaliated. Whoever got killed, got killed. They were not killing each and everyone and cleaning the island. This is not their job. They did not do any atrocity. If atrocity happened, then that is for business reason. Their main job of the Britishers people was to earn money in the India. That's why East India Company came. Now, through the Bay of Bengal, there was a trade from India and Australia, Australian region, India, Australia, New Zealand, Fiji, and those places Indians were also went to work in their sugar field. And in Australia and those kind of places, anyway, kind of European people were there, and there was a trade through Bay of Bengal from India to Australia, means British India to British Australia, you can say like that. Now, if you pass through Bay of Bengal, then there is a natural way that you will pass through all the island of Andaman and Nicobar. God has made in a way that if there used to be heavy trade in the Bay of Bengal. That's how those people used to survive because of heavy trade only. So heavy trade used to happen when India was selling its food grain, food material through Ganga river through ship. It used to come to the Calcutta region. That was a kind of a port, and then from there, then it would descend into the ocean, and then from there, tons and tons of ship would pass the Andaman and Nicobar Island, and that's how the local people of Andaman Nicobar Island or their king would sustain their territory with those money. So it was a full-fledged country. It was like a prosperous region earlier, where India was powerful. Now India became weak, and then it came to British Muslim rule, then Britishers rule. When you are weak, anyone can control you. Now Britishers they started doing trade, and as per their job, as per their nature, if they are white, if they see anyone black, then they consider it as like some tribal or something like that, and they started anchoring or harboring their ship along the islands because that is the way it is made. Any ship is passing through, certainly it will take rest or whatever anchoring there. There was a fight always. If Britisher ship is coming and harboring along the Andaman island, then tribal people used to attack it. If you are harboring there, then you have to give money to them. Straightforward. This is their land, or you have to come to an agreement with them. Directly you cannot do. No one would tolerate. So directly no one can do. But these people, British people, Mysore people, they did not entertain Andamanese people. Their ships were harboring there like there no one lives there. So since the beginning only, when East India Company business started in Calcutta region, Bengal Presidency, when the ships were flying through Bay of Bengal, if they are going to England also, then also through Andamanese, so that they will cross this Port Blair. Port. It's a port. Port Blair would not be the actual name. It would be some name in Andamanese. But Britishers gave name as Port Blair. They made a port there where ship would stop. Port Blair. So the Port Blair, so those islands were the anchoring point for the British ship. All ship, so Bengal Presidency means it will pass through Port Blair. Certainly, either it is coming from England or it is coming from Australian region, it will pass through Port Blair. So Port Blair around the region, Jarwa, Sentinelese, or Onge tribals, they started protesting. This is the obvious, and that became hot with the Britishers. They did not want to do any agreement with these tribal kings. Now, battle was kind of, it was, has to happen imminently. So it has to happen. Now, to make a strength there, to make their strength there, they started creating penal colony. So penal colony means convict. Who were convict? These military people. Can you see? Penal colony, the penal were not simple, simple roadside looters. The penal colony all were military people. Just see this. So Dudhnath Tiwari, he did what he was supposed to do. Okay, so these military people, when where they were staying in the penal colony, they were kind of they like from Burma war they had started the convicts now in the 1857 all the military convicts. These convicts they were keeping there so that they will have more strength now to fight with the tribal. So at the end the battle had to happen. It did not happen in one go. Okay, battle had to happen. Probably they had sent Dudhnath Tiwari to get mixed with them so that they were knowing that one time the fierce battle will happen. This they were knowing. So that he could tell all the plan, date, and everything. Means Britishers were fearing that they would lose the Port Blair region. If they lose Port Blair region, means they would lose India because the ship, the ocean way was the only way to travel at that time. There was no airway. So full East India Company business, full Britishers business as far as India is concerned, this much lucrative business, this much monetary business will completely go in water just because of Port Blair. So Port Blair was something that was most key thing in the Britishers regime. They had to acquire Port Blair. So whatever war they were fighting, all the that's why 1870s only they started making the penal colony there, so that the military people what they were put in captivity, they can be sent there and they will have more strength as far as Andamanese tribals are concerned. Okay, means Britishers in India means money, pure cash. They had to earn. If they had to earn, then they had to defeat Andamanese tribal. But what a defeat it is that there is no Andamanese tribal at all. Okay? In calculus or in mathematics, if it is from thousand and thousand, I would say there would be in lakhs. Reduced to 30, 40 means they are no more. Okay? Now, whatever is 30 and 40, they are kept somewhere and they are in the government's dole. Means government give them sugar, rice, wheat, whatever, and they are eating with. Earlier they were living with the pride. Now, if Indian ship was passing through Port Blair region, then they were collecting money the way any country would collect if your ship is doing harboring out there. But they did not get the money, they are no more. Battle of Aberdeen, that is the most darkest battle that ever happened in the history of humanity, where complete race got annihilated. Now, in Andaman Nicobar Island, only Indians from India they go and live. They work there for some company or something like that, or Indian government they have some job there. And but the local people are no more. There are other things also. Madam Sonia Gandhi, I have seen from Indian National Congress. She goes to Nicobar Island like Car Nicobar and those places. She has found enjoying holidays with her family. I go somewhere and I enjoy holiday knowing that local people I have killed. If I have killed local people, that's the reason that I get reason to enjoy holiday. Andaman Nicobar is a place to enjoy holiday. holiday on whose blood?